I'm going to solve several problems where we're adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing fractions. So let's get started. In this first problem, we're adding 3 and 7/12 plus 5/6. So we need to, when we add fractions, to have the same size pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the 5/6 into twelfths. So all I had to do is just split each of those in half, and then I get 10 twelfths. So if I rewrite that by multiplying, if I split them in half, that means that I have twice as many. So basically, when you're trying to get a common denominator, you figure out what's going to be the common denominator. In this case, it's going to be twelfths. So I just need to add the second fraction, or I have to multiply the second fraction by 2 in the numerator and 2 in the denominator. So I would get 10 twelfths, and then I can add my 3 and 7/12. So you just add those up. You've got 3 and 17 twelfths, which is going to be a little bit more than 4. So let's see, we would have, there's 12 twelfths is 1 whole. So we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That gives us an extra, so that would become 4, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left over. So we've got 4 and 5/12, and that is done. All right, in this next problem, I'm taking 5 1/10 and subtracting 1 4/5. So I'm going to get common denominators, and I'm going to use tenths. This first one already has tenths, and then this next one, I need to multiply the denominator by 2 to get tenths, and I do the same thing for my numerator. I'm going to leave the 1 alone. I'm just going to rewrite the 4/5 as 8/10. Okay, so here I go trying to subtract 8/10, but I only have one of them. So that's not enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to borrow from the 5. I'm going to make this 4, and all right, so now I have 4 and 11/10, and now I can subtract 1 and 8/10. All right, so then that would becomes 3 and 3/10, and I am done. In our final problem, we've got 8 and 6 minus 4 and 3/4. So here I need to get common denominators for both of my fractions, and I'm going to use twelfths. And so I'm going to leave the 8 and the 4 alone, and this fraction I need to multiply the 6 by 2 in order to move it to 12, so I need to do the same thing to the numerator and the denominator. So this would become, the 1/6 would become 2 twelfths, and on this next one, I need to multiply by a 3 in the denominator to get the 4 up to twelfths, so I need to do the same thing in the numerator. So this would become 4 and 9/12. And now I have the same issue that I had before when I'm trying to take 9/12 away from 2/12. There's just not enough to go around. So I'm going to rewrite my 8 and 2/12 as 7. Okay, I'm going to borrow a 1 whole, which is 12/12 from the 8, and add that to the 2/12 that I already had. So 12 plus 2 is 14/12, and then I have enough to subtract my 4 and 9/12. And so this becomes 3 and 5/12, and we are done. All right, so now let's multiply. The good news with multiplication is we do not need to get a common denominator. It's actually much easier than adding and subtracting. We just multiply straight across in the numerator and the denominator. So 3 times 1 is 3, 4 times 8 is 32, and that is done. Nice. Okay, let's try the next one. We don't have a denominator for the 16, but we can always give a number a denominator of 1. It doesn't change the value of 16 to be divided by 1 there, so I can rewrite that as 16/1 times 3/8, and then I just multiply straight across. 3 times 16 is 48, 1 times 8 is 8. And then anytime you see a fraction, that's just division there. So 48 divided by 8 is 6. And that is done. Now sometimes with a problem like that, you'll see that written 16 over 1 times 3 over 8. And instead of multiplying straight across my 3 times 16, there is a shortcut way of doing this where instead of dividing by 8 here at the end, what we could do is divide by 8 in the beginning. And this would rewrite as 2 over 1 times 3 over 1 because 16 divided by 8 is 2. So that gets replaced with 2, and then 8 divided by 8 is 1. And our problem might just be a tiny bit easier to do. 6 over 1 is the same thing as 6. All right, so that is one way of simplifying your problem just a tiny bit as you go along. But just make sure, just like when we get a common denominator, whatever you do in the denominator here for dividing by that 8, in the denominator we have to do the same thing in the numerator. All right, last problem here with multiplication. So if we have mixed fractions, we need to rewrite them as improper fractions, and the way that you do that, okay, you take your denominator 3 and multiply it by the whole number. So in 3 wholes, there's 9 thirds, and then we have this extra 1/3, so that would give us 10 thirds. So I'm going to rewrite my problem as 10 thirds times, all right, so the 2 and 1/2 I multiply because in 2 wholes there's 4 halves, and then you add that extra 1. So there'd be 5 halves. So we change that to 5 halves, and then we get to just multiply straight across. This would be 50, and then multiplying straight across, 3 times 2 is 6. So 56th, and then if we want to figure out how many whole pieces there are, because there are 6/6 in one whole, then we can just figure out, let's see, how many 6s are there in that. 6 times 8 is 48. And then there'd be 2 left over. So that would simplify as 8 with a remainder of 2/6. Okay, and then my 2/6, I can simplify, both of these are even, so I can divide both the numerator and the denominator by 2, and that would become 1/3. And we are done. All right, let's look at some division. All right, the good news with division is we can just change it into a multiplication problem. You multiply by the reciprocal of the second fraction, and then you multiply straight across. And 3 times 8 is 24, 4 times 1 is 4, and 24 divided by 4 is 6. So that's done. Okay, but a lot of people wonder, why? Why does that work? Why do you just get to multiply by the reciprocal of the second fraction? And here's one way of looking at it. So we're used to thinking of division like splitting it into equal groups. Like, for example, 10 divided by 2. That would be 5. Okay, but another way of looking at division is thinking how many 2's are there in 5? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's in 10. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. And that way of looking at division is helpful in terms of division of fractions, because another way of thinking about this is how many 8ths are there in 3/4. And so if we count, let's see, half of a fourth, that's an 1/8. So there's how many 8ths? Okay, how many 8ths are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's a way of looking at it. All right, let's do this next problem. So we have 5/8 divided by a fourth. So I'm going to just take my process. I multiply by the reciprocal. That just means flip the second fraction upside down. So multiply that by the reciprocal of the second fraction, and then we know how to multiply. You just multiply straight across. You'd get 20/8, and then both of these guys could get divided by 4. So I would get 5/2, and 5/2 is the same thing as 2.5. And that's done. Okay, and then visually we can see, all right, well, how many fourths are there in 5/8? So here I have 5/8, and I have 1/4, 2/4, and then here I just only have half of a fourth. So that would be 2.5 fourths are in 5/8. All right, last problem. All right, I have a mixed number here divided by 2. So I'm going to change that to an improper fraction. So I'm going to multiply 4 times 1 and then add the 3. In one whole, there's 4/4 plus those 3 extra, so I'd have 7/4 divided by 2. I can change that to multiply by the reciprocal. If I'm dividing by a number that's not a fraction, I can always make it look like a fraction by giving it a denominator of 1. And then I just write the reciprocal, flip that upside down. There we go, multiply by the reciprocal. So I would get 7/4 times 1/2, multiply straight across. I get 7/8, and that is done. There we go. There's operations with fractions.